gentlemen, to my understanding, men perceive love differently compared to women. And men can willingly commit to a woman when they decide to. But for women, it's totally different. So let's dive deeper to understand what is true love. And how did you perceive love on your side, Isaac? It felt so real, doesn't it? The way she smiled at you, the way she held your hand, and even whispered some promises in the dark that she will never walk away. She will never cheat on you. You are the only guy she will ever love. That seemed so real. That was so convincing, and you believed in that. And after believing in those feelings, in those words, certainly, what did you do, Isaac? You finally fully committed, right? Because that is what you thought love is. Once it feels like it's going to be there forever, that is how you define it. And men see things logically. That is the one fact. But women, most of them, they see things through perception. Even when you are logic, how do I perceive your logic? You created your own fantasy, your own emotions, your own illusions, and then you believed in that it will be forever. For men, true love, it is loyal. As long as I can be loyal to her, then there is my partner. As long as I can commit to my partner no matter what, I will always be there for her. You invest everything in this lady. I'm talking about time, emotions, and the worst thing is even the expectations. You invest to expect a specific return. The return is she will always be there no matter what. The thing is, your feelings won't change. Your loyalty won't change to her. And now you have the same expectation. That is the return that you expect. But to women, nope. I can commit to you, Isaac, depending on how I feel. When feelings change and how I perceive you is totally different, I walk away. I can do better. I can date another man. Even when you try to convince her otherwise so that she can see your investment and how you are loyal to her. To her, it's more than that. To her, she needs to do better. Maybe it's the validation, that is what you will believe. Maybe it's the words that you haven't told her, maybe that is what you will believe. Maybe it's the affirmations, maybe it's the attention, and that is actually what you will believe. And once she has crafted that, you must always validate me. You have to consistently pay attention to me. Because those feelings, maybe to her, defines the existence of a relationship. The one thing that you need to understand with women is they can choose to commit to you for a shorter period of time because that is how they feel and that is the phase they are in. You can accommodate me. I feel safe around you at this very moment. When I feel like now I have fixed my internal state of being, the feelings have changed because I am in a different frequency, I am in a different phase. I feel like I can do better since I have now fully worked on myself. And due to this, finally, you are the guy she has controlled fully. Because you perceive this relationship as a long-term relationship and it will always work. Right, Isaac? Wrong. That is your illusion that you have crafted in your own mind so that you can continuously commit to this lady. The thing that I respect men with, they love genuinely with loyalty, with logic, and then with permanency. And so through that, a man can persevere, can understand when he has a woman around. Doesn't matter how he feels, if he decides to commit to this lady, and maybe he believes we can have a long-term relationship, he will commit to this lady with a sense of permanency. But to a woman, it's through a sense of feelings, emotions, and what will drive me. As long as I feel negatively about you because you did something that maybe communicated a specific perception. For what you did, communicated something that reminded me of the past, and the past is part of my trauma. It's part of my narcissistic definition of a person. It's not about how what I did made you feel. It's how you reacted to what I did made me feel according to my past. And because that is how I feel about things, now I don't love you. It's not about we have committed to this one thing, we want to do it, and then we go to the next thing, and those are the facts. That is what you are doing logically. It's about how I feel about us doing this. It's all an analyzation in the psychological world that creates feelings, emotions, and perceptions. And as long as you deliver these perceptions, feelings, and emotions, I can do better, Isaac. Why? This man has to always poke in my emotions. He pulls away, he comes back whenever he wants. Sometimes he shows love, sometimes he doesn't show love. Sometimes he's toxic, sometimes he is chaotic. For that, at that very moment, Isaac, it arouses me emotionally. So at this very moment, you have to be toxic to yourself to accommodate that one lady who communicates and at least thinks this is the definition of love. You can do things in a different way to show her that genuine true love is done in this way. But how she perceives it, according to her past experiences, you are not interested. Something's just off with you. You don't want a serious relationship. Deep down, it's her emotions, it's her feelings. She can't control herself without poking in your emotions, without pushing you away. They do this consciously or subconsciously. Now, when a woman is in her emotions and feelings, she can make clear decisions, but she has a chance to analyze everything psychologically. And everything will make sense in a negative perspective depending on how you handle her, even when you overreacted. That is why I tell men, when she is in her emotions, don't overreact. Distance yourself, create the boundary. See, when you overreact, you conform to that perception in her psychological world. She's wrong. She is relying on an illusion compared to her past experiences. And the only way you can befriend, the only way you can understand her, and she can feel like she's heard, is when you accept her perception of reality. Her perception of reality in a psychological way. But we all know this is the trap. Once you start to understand things psychologically and not on facts and on logic, this is when you are trapped psychologically. This is when they have the upper hand. And she has to always lead you to the psychological world so that whenever you feel like it's not adding up, she has to direct you. She has to influence you. She has to show you the way. But this is what communicates weakness. Eventually, when she has fully detached herself from you emotionally, and she feels like you are totally different, you are not the guy she fell in love with, she's walking away. She won't lose any sleep over you because you are so predictable. Nothing exciting, nothing new she can learn about you. She can control you whenever she wants. She has the power. She is the prize. And that is the illusion. She eventually confuses you with chaos and drama and emotions that you will never handle. It will be too much for you, Isaac, until you question yourself and you question your reality. Because it will affect you psychologically, for nothing will make sense because there is nothing to make sense. The idea that love is unbreakable, that she will stand by you no matter what, it is all a fairy tale, a fantasy men are sold on early when they are just maybe young. But a stoic man, a greater man, a strong man, he will see reality through those illusions. There is nothing like permanency. Love doesn't equal to committing to you consistently forever. Unless if she is maybe doing things in a logic way and not trying to analyze everything psychologically. Because once she is in her feelings and emotions, her psychological world, it is on a hyper state. And once she is on this state, everything you understand, it won't make sense logically. Because this is where the crazy thing is. You try to reason with her, she can't reason with you. To you, it's logic, nothing makes sense. To her, she's right. That is why your explanations, they are totally different to how she understands things. It can never align, Isaac. So just get out of your head and accept the what is without judging yourself. I know it's not easy, I know it's hard, but accept the what is without judgment and without relying on her. I will end this by telling men, control your emotions, control your life. The only way you can control your life and you can have an upper hand on your definition of reality is to control your emotions. Are you a new member? Have you been enjoying this? Welcome on board.